Oh dear. So, I had talked to finally reached the payroll department again at Spirit Halloween Spencer's in New Jersey. Uh, and, and this is after I've emailed and been on hold and all that other good stuff. I got an email uh, last Friday afternoon from some representative, a guy for the company, and said that he would forward it on to uh, some other district person and in the payroll people and stuff. And uh, I was really disappointed because come today, I'm like, man, that store closes tomorrow, or actually, this is the last day today. So they're packing stuff up and they'll be shipping stuff out like all this week probably, and at this particular location. And I'm like, my God, it took 4 weeks to try to get my payroll from Spirit Halloween. Um, Actually, over 4 weeks because I started there in September. So, anyway, all because I didn't get an employee number. Uh, they kept promising to do. So, I never got to, clock in, any of that stuff. But, just messy. I just can't even believe that that big of a corporate is that messy. So, anyway, I started contacting the Florida State Labor Board and stuff. And I remember how difficult it was because I was trying to, turn in a Mexican restaurant my daughter worked for, and the guy was just holding her pay up for weeks and weeks. And I think it took us like 6 weeks to get her last paycheck. And it was like, she wanted to quit, and then he claimed he was firing her. And it's like, okay, so her pay needs to be 24 to 48 hours. And he just was like clowning and clowning and clowning. And she had like one or two work shirts. We washed them up real nice the day that we finally, managed to get her payroll, and went to give them to him, and he handed them back, told her that she could keep them, which they were beautiful embroidered shirts actually. They definitely weren't cheap, but so anyway, that's definitely strange. Kind of looks like somebody is getting out of this car just to pee next to a container when there's like bathrooms all around. They're like 30 foot away. Yep, that's what it looks like. So anyway, my God. So anyway, uh, I was contacting labor board today and getting ready to file and stuff on um, Spencer's Corporation because I just didn't feel like waiting. You know, I mean, it's like this is so ridiculous. They shorted me $160 on my pay that I just got, like what, a week ago or something. And so um, I thought, man, this is gonna be like hell to get this money. And I'm reading the Florida law. If you file on a company, they will get fined, and on top of that, they have this law where you get a percentage reward plus like double the amount that they owed you, which is interesting. Now, I did talk to the Federal Labor Board today, and in federal, they're only going to file at minimum wage no matter what your wage was, which that's odd because every state has a different minimum wage. And so now, like, I think the minimum wage here is like 11, and I was getting paid, almost 20 an hour to be a manager, and it's like, whoa. But then there's miles of lawyers that will take it free, and they will force the corporation to pay for them and get all kinds of other money if you've been harassed at work or anything else too, which makes it darned interesting. Um, but again, how long does it take? You know, um, California Labor Board. If you call them, they will contact the place that day. They will give them 24 hours to pay you. If not, they come and padlock the business. California doesn't play. I had to call labor board 2 times in my life and slammed people for not paying me. And one of them was a bar that was paying me under the table. And they don't like to get busted for that. But anyway, so I get a call this afternoon from an out of state number. And I answer it. Normally, I don't like to answer any numbers I don't even know. I'll just let it go to voicemail. Because it's usually somebody trying to sell me something, some spam call. But anyway, I answered it. Other than the fact that I've been like applying for some other jobs, and so it was a lady from like corporate, and she was very nice. And I swear that name is the same person that treated me like crap in a phone conversation with my DM. And they really kind of changed their tune. And so, anyway, boy, they must be drunk because they just sped off and didn't even turn their lights on just to come here to pee. But anyway, so people are just weird. So, she was real nice, and she said, I'm calling about, your payroll. And I said, okay. And she says, I'm actually at another store right now looking it over. And she says, but I thought I would give you a ring. And I said, well, I really appreciate it. And it's like one of those correct me if I'm wrong things. And she says, if you'll send me, a copy of whatever you've got record of your hours. I said, I literally wrote down my hours every day. And even, my 1 or 2 5-minute breaks. And most of the time I didn't get any lunches. I think I had 2 lunches in all the time I worked there. And so, um, and the biggest problem was that, I had told DM originally I would work day and night, 7 days a week, call me in, whatever. And especially for that kind of money, I mean, it was not bad money. But it probably would have been if I'd been doing managerial duties. It'd probably been a bit short, but for what I was doing, it was okay. Um, Except for the crap I had put up with. But I told her I had it all documented, and she's like, "Really? If you want to send me copies," I said, "I can just read it off to you." I said, "It's just from September and October." And I said, and the number one reason I quit is because, the manager above me was telling me she thought that my pay was going to take, 3 to 4 weeks. and mainly because I never got my employee number. So, um, I mean, I literally, there was no place to clock in. I couldn't do any clock in on the computers or anything like that. I didn't even have access to the cash register. I did not have access to go into the computer for anything until like the last 2 days I worked there. Last 1 or 2 days I worked there because they wanted me to respond or comment as to that crap phone call. That was a speaker phone call between the DM and me and some district person in Miami or wherever it was. And so I did. And I point blank told them for all the problem I've had here, and I'm really worried about my pay now, I probably should just go ahead and sue you. I tell it, I call it like it is, you know? But anyway, I'm so tired of people in their bullcrap. So anyway, she was real nice today, and we talked probably 25 minutes. And I said, I can just read it off to you. It's pretty simple, and I can tell you what scheduled hours I was given by the DM by text message when I could get them. And then there was one point where I didn't work for 3 days, and I'd call and text her every day. And then I'd send her a real weird text like, please confirm if I am still employed with this company or not, um, because I have not received any schedule for the last 3 days. I haven't received any answer from you in text or phone call in replies to my calls and texts every day to inquire about my schedule. And because I was never on a printed schedule in a school or anything, I never even saw one until oh, the last day I worked, actually. They actually showed me a schedule, but they said, this is you. And I said, where's me? Because it has, like, the employee name and stuff. And they said, oh, it's just that. So it was like a number and a blank with no name. And I said, well, how do you know that's me? And then when I looked at it, I said, oh, there's those 3 days that I didn't work at all. It might be me. But the hours that were on that were different than what the DM sent me. Like, she would send me stuff that was like, 11 to 1 or 2, and the actual schedule would read open till 3 and stuff like that. None of it matched. So it's like, man, how bad can this get? Although, she had told me she was open on hours and I could get all the hours I wanted that week. No problem. Blah, 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 blah. But, God, that place was a problem. Worst job I ever worked. But anyway, so, I mean, I was nothing really in their system until like the last day I was there. And so, anyway, and it makes me nervous, man. It's really bad if they, don't have a time clock or you can't access their time clock and you're supposed to be trusting these other people to document your hours wherever they're putting it on. I don't know exactly if they're putting it on the computer or writing it down or what they're doing. Um, I just had nothing. If you can't trust them, guess what? That's how your hours get shorted and jerked around. And it's just ridiculous. So, anyway, I'm reading off these hours to the lady. She was real nice. I said, I can send it to you too. And she's like, no, go ahead. And so I'm reading it off, and then she hits me with those 3 days going, and then you worked this day for this hours at this time, and you work this day for this time. And I say, nope. She says, what do you mean? I said, well, remember when I explained to you that, I didn't work for 3 straight days? And I sent text message to the DM about, am I still currently employed with Spencer's Corporation? Or is that why, I've had no shifts for 3 days and no response about my schedule or anything? Because she would pretty much send me, 1 or 2 day schedule. She never did it like a week schedule or anything like that. So anyway, and the store wasn't open that long. It was only open like, I don't know, like 10. I had to be there like 10 o'clock or something. And then we closed at 7. And then we would be there till, like 7:15 or 7:30, you know, at the latest, all of us. And they required 2 managers on open and 2 managers on close every day. So anyway, she's like, what? And I'm like, I didn't work. I would love to tell you I did, but I don't want to lie. And I don't want to take any money that isn't mine. Um, I said, but I never worked any of those 3 days. Those were the 3 days I was telling you about. She said, what? I said, that's correct. I said, how could I work 3 days when I, I couldn't even get a schedule from my manager every day? And on that third day, after I sent that message, which was, I think, like in the morning, I think it was about 10 a.m. That evening, like 9:30 or 9:45 or 10, which was really strange, my DM sent me a message. Oh, you work tomorrow, this many hours. And I was like, okay, thank you. It's really weird to be doing business like that late at night. You would normally think they would, do that from like 9 to 5. But anyway, so this lady was really bloated. She's like, but that's what I've got. I said, but, I'd love to have the money, but, I don't want to be a liar or a thief. I said, I just want what's due to me. And, I figured it would probably take 4 total weeks to get my money, and that's what it's looking like. Um, and I said, I've already contacted the labor board like 3 times. And, I'm getting ready to file. Plus, I contacted a lawyer today, just about an hour before I talked to you. And she's like, no, we're fine to pay you. We just needed the correct hours. So how much are you exactly short? I said, well, like, $160 worth. And she's like, wow. And I said, I mean, yeah. I said, but I mean, I could use the money. I worked for it. I can't believe I got to wait this long for it. Um, and I cannot believe, because see, I asked the DM, what total hours do you have for my paycheck coming? And she's like, I got them. That's the message she sent me. Like, I got them. And it was like, so when's my pay coming? Well, it'll be here. Yeah, just like, boy, oh boy. So anyway, it worked out, okay in the conversation today. The lady was very nice. We discussed a couple other problematic things with the store. And, I told her, look, I knew going in. This DM, had told me the store was ultra problematic. Drama, everything included. So I knew that going in. Because I asked her point blank. Is this a drama pain in the butt store, or is it okay? Is it, float well? And she was very honest. And it was definitely worse than what she said, but I mean, it was fair warning. Plus, she claimed there was a huge loss in theft. Huge. And she, was sure it was the employees. I said, man, you better be checking the trash cans for that kind of theft. Because that's gigantic. And but really, I didn't really see much of anything, being hauled out every day by employees and all. I mean, they literally, want to check your pockets, everything before you leave. They're really particular. Anytime you leave, whether it's going to the bathroom or anything, they're like, you gotta like pull your pockets inside out, and I mean, show everything. Um, and I've never even worked a place that was like that, where you had to do all that. Back in the old days when I worked clothing in some of the shopping malls and stuff in California, you were better off to have a clear purse or backpack, and it was clear plastic, so you could bring your things in. And uh, everybody put their pocketbooks under the front counter, so nothing ever happened to any of that stuff because we were all standing over it. There's always somebody there at the counter. And nobody messed with anybody's stuff. And but upon leaving, you had to check with a manager and show them your clear pocketbook or backpack to make sure you didn't have like miles of their products in your stuff before you left. So that's how that problem was solved years ago. And so anyway, I didn't really see a lot of theft going through employees in that. Um, there was a lot of strange things going on, but if it was going out to the dumpster when they would take boxes out. And they're too lazy to do them all day long. They would only do them like once every couple of days, and they would definitely take a long time because they would go out there play on the phone or smoke cigarettes or whatever they were doing and come back in about 20 minutes. I mean, that's definitely enough time to call a friend and say, hey, can you meet me at the trash can and get this stuff? But I didn't see anything being moved, um, obviously, or anything like that. I mean, there could have been. I wasn't there all the time, and I wasn't always in the back to see it if it was being done. So I told this lady, I said, I don't know that, the employees were stealing from that store that grossly, but I do know that every single day there were kids coming in, teenagers, like 4 and 5 at a time, and one's like looking this way, one's looking that way, the other one's like distracting or blocking, while the other one's shoving the stuff in their sweatshirts or whatever. And they do it right in front of you. And then walk right out of the store, and we're not allowed to say anything. And so, and they claim they did have some video cameras in the store. Some. So I know that Walmart does prosecute because they pull it up on video, and they will turn it over to law enforcement, and you will get arrested if you're stealing in Walmart. You will get arrested. And so, even though it looks like that people are walking out of the store with stuff all the time or eating food in the store and leaving the wrappers behind and all that, they will get you. I personally know a girl that got taken to jail for uh, a $1 nail polish that she stole from Walmart in Arkansas. And she was mad as hell, going, I can't believe that big company put me in jail for $1 nail polish. I'm like, I can believe it because every time you guys steal like that, it raises the prices to all the other customers. So quit it. And was it worth going to jail over $1 nail polish? Really? It's not yours. Don't touch it. you know. But anyway, and this was a grown person, in their 20s. Okay. But anyway, so the lady confirmed with me. She said, "Yeah, I see it all the time. It's always kids, and a group of them comes in and all that." And I said, "Man, it's just terrible." I said, "I love the product, really do." I said, "I've known Spencer's since I was a little kid. You know, I've known that company since I was a little kid in the shopping malls, and I've always loved the company and the products. And the Spirit Halloween really puts out some very, very nice products for costumes. They really do. Um, they're not like totally cheap junk. They're really nice, and they're a little pricey now. You're talking in the 30s for a lot of their stuff. A bag with the decorations or the hat or the outfit and all that stuff, the shoe covers, all that other stuff. You're talking, like 30, 35 and up. But they're still, I mean, that's very reasonable for a good outfit that you can rewear, for years. So, you're definitely getting your money's worth. And, but hell, there were some employees that would buy them and with their discount, like we get like 25% off at Spencer's and at Spirit Halloween as employees. And they would literally buy an outfit and wear it at work, which it says it's not permitted. When you apply to work there and everything, it tells you cannot wear costumes to work and all this stuff. And it just really depends on who's managing your store. It is cute though, when customers come in and they see an employee dressed up in a Cinderella outfit or something like that. It really is cute. But it's definitely against policy. But which is really a shame. I mean, what more pride could you have than having your employees wear your product? That's great advertisement, especially while they're at work. Because people say, man, I really like that. I'd like to get one, you know. Um, but, that's how wearable it is. I mean, they can wear it the whole day at work. And it's not going to, like, shred, like the costumes we had when we were kids for Halloween. They were just like, you were lucky to make it trick or treating for a couple hours in it because they would just shred up. But yeah, so we had a very, very, very nice conversation. She did thank me twice for being honest about my hours and being honest that I did not work those 3 days. And, uh, I appreciated that. And I'm sure she really appreciated that because, see, they're trusting my word. Because I wasn't clocking in or anything like that. They really can't prove, except from video of my working, they really can't prove that it's yes or no. They're answering to my word. So I earned the respect of somebody right there today, just being honest person. Really, all I want is my money. If they want to give me a reward or bonus or whatever, great. I doubt that'll happen, but I just want what's due me. I don't want to lie or take advantage of anybody. It'd be just like if I owned the business, I would be mad if I found out later they went, yeah, I worked those 3 days when they didn't, and I lost that money, especially for that kind of pay. That's a lot of money. So anyway, she said, I will get this together, and do you still have your pay card? I said, yes, I do. And she said, well, don't throw it away or anything. Because I asked her, I said, how are they going to process this? Are they just going to, like send me a check or something? She said, no. You got that pay card? Yep. We'll go ahead and ship it to that just as soon as we get this taken care of. She says, I do have to get a hold of so-and-so that's over the payroll department entirely and put it through to him so that he can process the hours into your account, and then it will be shipped to payroll to make the pay. And I said, so what kind of time are we talking here? Because like that store, today's the last day that store is open, and it's making me nervous. Because now I'm going to get the rest of my pay after they close the doors. If I get it right. But she was like, oh no, we're going to try to get it done, in the next 2 days here and get it to you. I'm like, really? And, I had a friend of mine go, man, you better check that paycheck because if it's short, you better let them know right away. And, I was working a lot, so I didn't have a lot of time for a few days. And finally I got down and I checked it. And I thought, nah, surely I made a mistake. And I said, I better check it again tomorrow just to make sure before I make, a serious complaint. And I checked it again, and I was 100% right. So I said, okay, I guess I better go forward with this. But anyway, so I'm supposed to be getting my 160 bucks pretty shortly, which will be very nice. It's almost $200. Oh my gosh! But I just cannot believe it's going to take like 4 or 5 weeks here to get all of my money for the first paycheck. So anyway, that was great news today. Let's see if it actually happens. I hope that it does. Um, she sounded very sincere. We had a great conversation, so that was a bonus today. Um, and my other job, I called in on that today. Sadly enough, I was just not in for going in there today and then working an hour or less and being sent home. The other day was such a total waste of my time to be up 7 o'clock in the morning and then have to drive and then have to go get a shower and then have to get ready for work and put on a face and all that cool stuff and then go to work walking across the parking lot in the flipping rain because I don't want my car next to everybody else's because they're going to beat the crap out of it and then have to leave in the middle of a storm or it's blowing my car literally around the parking lot before I even got in. And then after I get in, I got really scared. I thought a flipping tornado was going to pick the car up. It was really, really, really rough. Really, really. I didn't even know if I was going to be able to get out of the parking lot. I was worried about even driving. And I was soaking wet head to toe. I'm like, sucker play that game and I got to go home, in an hour and a half of work kind of thing after we open. And then walk through the storm in my car and be soaking wet. Really? So, such is life. But I was really gonna go to work this morning. And I'm not one to be calling into work. I'm just not. I'm not that kind of person. But I did. I couldn't sleep all night. I was really upset about it. And I got to the point where, man, that's just freaking abusive. Total waste of my time. From 7 o'clock in the morning to get ready and then, go to work and be there for 10:30 and then we open at 11 and then it's like, well, we're so slow, one of you's got to go. I was like, how do you make a judgment, the first hour we're open? Really? Because you can't. In any business you just can't. you know um and right now it's winter time in Florida, so you know yeah, it's slowing down. Spring breaks over, but let me tell you, I drove by there tonight and you couldn't park in that parking lot. You can't predict it. It's been slow all week, and then tonight the entire parking lot slammed. And I'm like, no. So I don't know. And they wanted me to talk to the title manager of the whole restaurant this morning. They said, call him on this number. And I was like, and I was going to meet with one of the wonderful big managers this afternoon because I was so upset yesterday. I talked to him yesterday. He's like, you come see me. I'll be here at 2. And I just was like, I can't even go through all this crap. And I adore him. He's a great dude, but I didn't feel like wasting time drive down there, and then that nasty manager might even be there and be interrupting us, and I wouldn't even be on the clock. And I might have to say something really mean like, I'm sorry, this is on my time and I'm not on the clock. Excuse me. you know, I will. I mean, that's just me. But yeah, so basically what I did today was try to still sort on the one storage so I can try to get it stacked and compacted the proper way instead of all thrown in there. And um, see if I can compile the two units together successfully. Which even at this point, I'm pretty sure I can. It's just trying to get it done. And I have some stuff that's open that needs to be boxed that I'm sorting through um, and labeled before I stack it all up. So, you know, I can get everything in there successfully. Um, so that's what I was working on today. I was so hoping yesterday or today to get that finished up so I could start loading that other unit in there. But I didn't get it all done. But I got a lot done though. Getting closer. In the storages it rained, I've still got a bunch of um, clothes and towels and stuff and resale stock. It got wet. I don't even know if that resale stock will be salvageable. And because those units rained so bad over there. And so I'll need to take all that and wash it and sort it and then fold it all up and box it. And I've got like 8 empty bags full of stuff that needs to be done that way. So, just trying to get it sorted and compacted and see where I'm at. I'm even afraid to start moving other stuff in there until I get the sorting done to see, because all I have to do is measure the room and see if it will handle what I've got to put in there successfully before I even move all that stuff. And it would save me $200 a month if I can compile those two units. So that would be even better because paying this, almost $1,000 a month in storage is frying me. And I mean, it's 80%. All these storages are 80% my retail stock for my business. And eBay is disgusting slow the last 3 weeks. I mean, shamefully slow. So, yeah, Joker's playing music. So kill my monetization on that noise. It's still kind of loud. But anyway, so I guess this interface is just gonna play this music. Jeez, get rid of noise. So anyway, I was working on that today, and plus it's only a few days to my daddy's birthday, and I'm not working that. I'd already given notice at work about I wasn't going to work on my daddy's birthday. I gave him notice over a week ago. I said, there's just 4 days in the year I don't work, and that's my mother's birthday, my father's birthday, Mother's Day, and Father's Day. I just do not work those days. So, but yeah, so anyway, yeah, so I'm just trying to get this stuff sorted out before the 5th, so I'm not liable for that one unit if I can get it moved successfully. I wanted to have it moved before that, but I was still offered to pay rent for those days, even though I probably wouldn't have to. I was still offered to pay rent for those days if I'm still in there till the 5th. But and that I'm just trying to get that done promptly without taking too much time. I did go check on 2 other jobs today. I had a very nice interview this morning, actually, and touched base with a restaurant I was trying to get on to that suddenly, had an advertisement about, hiring a whole bunch of people. But actually, it wasn't even true. So I talked to the head dude this morning about that. Um, and he was real nice too. But he's like, man, we're just not really hiring at all because it's just so slow. We're going into winter. And I'm like, yep, I understand. But anyway, so, I fiddled with a few places today. Um, and I'm just really not sure what I'm going to do with this one house. But, you know, it's not like I can go schedule me when, this one manager's not working. I mean, I think that's a whole lot to ask. Um, they can hire anybody that's going to work any shifts with whoever, then to sit and babysit me and take extra time to figure a schedule out to make sure I don't work with this one clown. Um, so I don't know, but I mean, I'm not. I'm not. I have like 4 days off this week. Last week was 3 days off. In the old days, let me tell you how we got rid of an employee. You just start cutting their shifts back till they just go. It's true. It's the easiest way to get rid of an employee. Just keep cutting their shifts back and just go, oh, I don't know. And finally, they'll leave because they just can't make, on so little hours. Now, I'm very offended because, you know, this last week, pay week, I had a total of 17 hours. I thought I had at least 22 or 25, but oh no. Oh no. 17. I think it's like 17 and a half hours. I can't work for somebody like that. My gas costs more than that just to go there. Okay. It's just like a waste of breath. Um, no, 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 no. No, 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 no. So anyway, I haven't really made a total decision on what I want to do with that yet. So I've got some days to decide on that. And they can't just fire me because, I called in this morning and I told them I wasn't coming. I gave them, enough notice to bring somebody in or whatever. I just really did not want to go. Isn't it terrible? So, I mean, it made for a happier day for me. I wanted to cry all day long. I was so upset about all this stuff, my pays and these jobs. It's so much easier for me to work for me. It's happy go lucky. Sometimes there's drama at work, and you know what I do? I pack my bags and roll them right out that damn door and tip everybody and smile and say, thank you so much. I really had a nice time. I'll see you next time, and I can come and go as I please. And, when it gets rough, I just leave. It's no problem. I work for myself. So, yeah. So, but, um, I can't really do that right now. Um, so I have a few things standing in my way where I can't, just jump and run right this minute. And will I go back on the road? Will I not? I'm not sure at this point. We'll see, what the world does bring. I sure do make a whole lot better money working for myself and crossing country. That's a 100%. I always have, and probably always will. Um, so it's just a pandemic that messed everything up really bad. But it looks like fuel prices are going to get cheaper. Cars are getting cheaper. Property's getting cheaper. Gold and silver have dropped. Okay. Yes, sir. Gold and silver have dropped. There's your first clue. It's been real high for a little while, and it is dropping now. And so, uh, Sounds good to me. As a matter of fact, there's a couple pawn shops. I pawned some stuff a few years back. Some really nice jewelry. And I bet will end up right back in those shops. And hopefully, if gold goes down real good, I might be able to go rescue those pieces back. That would be very nice. But anyway, other than that, it was actually a very nice day today. It wasn't rainy or anything weird today. Yesterday was a little rough for part of the day in the morning. But the afternoon was fine. But yeah, so I did accomplish a lot today. Not as much as I wanted to, but it was all right. I went and caught a shower real quick at the gym, and tomorrow I'll probably have to take some stuff and wash it up so that I can get that stuff packed up, and that will help, really get some room knocked out in that one unit. Because I really want to be sure I can get all that stuff in successfully. If I can get a complete, total empty space and measure the footage, I can say, yep, I can move it in, no problem. Or nope, it's not going to quite work. But if I can manage to combine those two units, I will save $200 right off the top there, which would be fantastic, and still be able to work with my online stuff in the time being. So that's a lot of the problem with my online stuff is you really got to work it, or it really just does go dead. And I've been working a lot lately, when I was doing all three jobs at once, and then I was just doing two jobs and all that. So I have really not had much time to fool with it. Which the whole idea of having that stuff in storage is to get it sold, and so if I could get most all of it sold, I would have a storage that's probably 10 by 15 or 20, and that would be it of stuff that I really need to keep. So that's where we're at. And I did some work on my car last week, which was really needed. That was great. I just didn't have the time to get to it. Plus, I was looking for my supplies and I couldn't find them, and I found them on accident. And I went, ooh. And I immediately started taking this car apart and spending a few hours messing with it. Fantastic. That was so cool. That just really made my whole day. I was like, yes, problem solved. So, other than that, I gotta get fuel in the morning. Fuel is $3.08 today. And it's kind of gone up and down like the past 2 weeks. It would jump like 12 cents, drop 10 cents, and then jump 15 cents, and then drop, 12 cents. I mean, it's just been really strange. So, I don't know. There's a lot of people right now complaining about the economy. People that are in business. They're like, the economy is just. And I'm like, oh God, don't say that. And there's some people who are saying, oh my God, the internet's fantastic. It's getting stronger every day. And I'm like, well, I don't know. So we'll see. If I get time to list some stuff, I didn't get any time today to do that, or the day before. If I could list just a couple things, even, that would be great. But I just haven't had the time to fool with it. I'm trying to get this job done before the 5th, or I'm totally liable for that rent. Um, so we'll see. But I would really be looking pretty good if I could compile those two. I would be looking so much better financially. Um, but other than that, in the employment office, there's nothing. Just nothing. No work, no work, no work. So it's been really dead for the last month or so on there. So That's like daily jobs, but nothing on there for me. So otherwise, it's just kind of about it. Taking care of business and trying to smooth out. But I was really unhappy today. I'm like, man, if I get jerked out of that $160, I will be so disappointed. But they say they're gonna get it done. So and possibly the next couple days. So that would be really nice. We'll see. Can't say till I actually see it. You know what I mean? But you can't always believe everything people say. But I hope it's true. But anyway, it's kind of about it. It's kind of a mild night this evening. It's probably about 60, 60, 65 without even looking at the weather. But uh other than that, I miss doing a lot of my vlogs. And there's been a couple car shows, and I haven't had time to fool with it. Wished I did. But I did charge my bevel vlogging stick the other day, so I can make sure I have power to run that. But because I love that thing, it works so well. It's worth every penny. I mean, it's like $100, but totally worth every penny. And I've wanted one for a little while. Um, and so that thing will be ready on the next little vlogging thing, which will be nice. Well, that's about it. So, went and watched my friends BB's Adventures, a couple of their vlogs the last couple of days. I had time to look at that. That was fun. They're such characters. They're so funny. And I watched one today where they were supposedly going to Walmart to buy laundry stuff and we would buy all kinds of different little stuff. I'm like, so you can put that all in the wash and then wash it again? Cause like none of the stuff's laundry stuff. But you know how Walmart is. When you go in there for a $1 spool of thread, you're gonna spend $100. I think they got subliminal music in there to make you buy like they do at the casinos. I think it's in the music there. That subliminal message. Bye, bye, bye. But yeah, so anyway, other than that, a company I used to work for named Cato. I worked in Fox Hills Mall in California years and years and years ago. And I guess I was still in high school or something when I worked for them. And uh, their clothes aren't made that well, but they had really stylish clothes, and they weren't too expensive. They were like $30 and less back then. And you had, like the three grades. You had Contempo Casuals, you had Cato, and then there was another one, and they were all kind of about the same. And those were real top notch stores and malls. And they could get some really hip clothes, you know what I mean? Like stuff that was really in fashion in the moment. And they always made really cool, flashy stuff. Uh, my baby sister used to comment about the way I like to dress and everything. I said, yeah, if it looks like a hooker, I'll be wearing it. If it's really sexy, really flashy, I'll be wearing it. I just like really, fancy, elegant, classy clothes. I'm just that kind of person. Yes, I will wear a gold mylar jacket. Yes, I will wear a chrome mylar jacket. Yes, I will wear rhinestone shoes. I mean, I love all that stuff. Um, but And it's always done me well in business. If you dress real good to go to work, you'll sell more. That's a fact. That is 100% fact. So, anyway, uh, this Cato, all these years later, it's still open in business. And there's one, I guess, I heard from two different people. There's one out in Defunk. Man, I'd like to go out there. Um, and they've got bell bottom jeans out there for like $20, you know? So if I can come up with like an extra 20 on the side sometime soon, I would definitely love to buy some. I had a customer come in the restaurant the other night and commented on her pants. And they were really cool looking jeans with stars on them. I mean, I could make that, you know? But she's like, hey, I got them at this Cato place. I said, Cato? What is that? She looks it up on her phone. She goes, it's this place. And they have a website too. She flips the phone around to me and it's CATO. I said, that's Cato's. I said, oh my gosh, that was around when I was a kid, you know? And I worked for them. And, that was the best part about working for, the clothiers is your discount. Because they would usually give you like half off or better. They were really good about that. And so it was totally worth working for them. So you could buy stuff that you really had to have at like half off or better. And totally worth it. Totally worth it. Um, the other problem with working for retail, like clothiers and stuff, is you got to keep control because you don't want to buy everything that you love because you got to work around it every day. Because I mean, you just won't have a paycheck, so you got to be careful. It has to be something you really, really got to have. Okay. So anyway, I need to take a trip out there at one point and go check out what they have, or just order off their website. Either way, and then I have to drive all the way out there. But anyway, so um, other than that, that's kind of about it. Just been, productive day. Some good news today. That was good. And some things I didn't get to do today, but that's okay. Tomorrow's another day. It'll be fine. So, yep. But and the Powerball drawing is tonight. $1 billion. 1 billion. Can you believe that? A billion. This freaking lottery is so crooked. Why do they have it all the way up to a billion? Okay, there's something wrong with this picture. But I think I got one ticket or two. So we'll see. If I can win a piece of it, it'd be cool. Set me right. I was looking. I drove by Harbor Lock Village yesterday, and they had a sign for Kitty Hawk Kites. It says now hiring and including housing. I was like, huh? So I may look into that too. See what that's all about. Um, but rents are starting to go down a little bit. Um, Retail housing is going down. That's a good sign. I don't know that I want to stay in this area though. I'm still pretty open to, all over the United States. Um, my brother's been after me forever trying to get me to move back to California. And he's offered to fit the whole bill and everything. But with all my stuff in storages, but I haven't made a firm decision yet. I would prefer to just have a lot of money on hand, um, and then go seek things out. I don't like to do anything without money. Although I bought a whole house, actually two houses, with $0 and 0 cents before, and no bank would finance me because I was a single parent. Yes, I did. Yep. And on a $60 bad check to a friend they still have today. Yep, because I had that feeling, that winning feeling, and I was right. But uh, otherwise, I would always tell you, look, don't play anything on scared money. There's no promises in life. Gambling, you know, money and stuff is very dangerous. You have to be ready to cut it loose and say bye bye because it may not come back. Um, so you have to be careful in life. But anyway, I just thought to touch base with you guys, see how you're doing, see how your day went, and let you know how things been going the past couple days. And I've been so busy I haven't been able to vlog. And then I was really deathly ill for a week. I'm still getting over it. I'm getting a little bit better every day. Um, Today was, a better day for sure, to where I don't feel totally sick faced. But it's still, everything's still not totally repaired. I don't know if it can be. We'll see. Because it's really hard getting better on this round. So years ago, I never got sick, and if I did, it was really rare. But I would really get sick. But the last 5 years, my health has not been too good. So I guess I'm on the downhill, no break syndrome. Who knows? I'm still smiling though. But anyway, that's kind of about it. We'll see what tomorrow has to bring, and hopefully it's lots of good things. And I'll see you on the next one. But you gotta do something kind for a stranger. Love everybody, and I'll see you in the next one.